Ghnewsnow, a year in put out some video of John Q and Papa Wastic saying, say, they said a whole lot of things. But one thing that you were really passionate about that you decided to react to, and he said, you really don't think, say, Ghana has the talent base to sustain a reggae industry. And I say, reggae made in Ghana is necessarily reggae at all. Chemu kakra.
To me, with what they were saying, they have every right to say it. And with me traveling all around the world, play with all these people, I realized that no matter where you are from, as long as you're not from Caribbean, you will go solo. No, you are not. They won't take you to be a serious reggae musician. Example is when Lucky Dube came. Up to now, most of the Caribbean people don't see Lucky Dube as a reggae musician. When Alpha Blondie had the same issue, or Koi anyway, let's call boy, Alpha Blondie didn't get the recognition that he had to get in the reggae industry. And it's all because it's just like somebody coming to play Yamponsa or coming to play Azonto. There's always something with it. And to me, when I listened to the last interview, they were saying something that was very, very, very true. Especially the way we play the reggae, strumming of the guitar, bubble and chop. Bubble and chop is the drum, how to roll, where to do this, where to do that. There's a whole lot of things that they know how to play it. They know it. It's their stuff.
But
they can do it, and they can do it better.
But Mami challenge you kakra. Because first of all, there's some who can example here with Mami. Doesn't that even defeat what you are also saying? You seem to know about reggae. And Mami challenge you further. Who personally you've played with artists like Romain Virgo. Why does Romain Virgo come from Jamaica and not look for a Jamaican keyboardist or a Jamaican guitarist, but a Fawo from Ghana to play with him?
Honestly, you have every right to say that, but what I did was I studied it and studied it well. When I came to this country, I was a sax player. I played bass and everything. But when I started doing reggae, I realized that there's something that they need. So what did I do? I learned it and I gave it to them. And I did it and did it better.
In which case, non-Jamaicans can actually play reggae.
Non-Jamaicans can actually play reggae, but there's something about reggae. You remember the last interview that you did with the other guy? They said something. Reggae seems very simple, but it's very complicated. Most of the time when we listen to reggae, non-Jamaicans or non-Caribbeans playing reggae, they do too much. Especially, let's take the guitar. When you strike the guitar, major seventh, and some little things that they do. When you strike the guitar, don't try to bring the guitar up and do the chapel. No. Get your wah-wah pedal. If you are going to shoot a mosquito, you don't take a machine gun. There are some tools of the industry. Nobody is saying, no, and tomorrow so if I'm going to kill them, I'm going to take a machine gun. No, it doesn't work like that. There are some tools of the trade that you have to have. Get an effect, get a wah-wah effect, get something to soothe in it. That's bad, with no effect now. It doesn't give it that way. You move out of the whole thing. You move out of the whole thing. So first thing, if you are going to do it with the right tool. Second, listen and learn. Let me give you an example of a reggae song in Ghana. So maybe let me take my guitar and give you a typical example, right? Okay, so let's take a song like this. Yellow sitting for corner, looking up to chop, waiting they got some more money for the. So when you listen to this kind of groove, It's a good reggae. It's a good reggae. But the Jamaican will hold it and play it in a way that should be like, whoa. So to me, one, if we are going to play it, if we can beat them, we join them. First, get the right tools. You cannot go kill mosquito with a machine gun.
Mami
Two,
Bitao, if a Jamaican was playing that same yellow CC out 2 year, how would it sound like?
basically, it can be done like
Are you using the same chords? Are you using the same chords, or is that
I'm
the
going to
way you
use the
strum?
same chords. Like you realize that African call yellow see ote sideways, so or pull it back. But and yeah, no na ube issue. Before I started playing reggae professionally, I thought it was an organ. But most of them use something called ocarina. Ocarina is in the family of the flutes. It's called ocarina. So what do? You set the ocarina on top and you set the piano. Most of the big reggae bands, you see two keyboards players, or most of the recording, you see like two people playing. So that we call it a bubble and chop. The bubble being and the chop will be the ka. And together with the guitar, it creates something beautiful. And number two, you realize that when reggae go fast, you slow the playing down. A typical example is like playing like song like I shot the siren, outside the machine. So you most of the fast reggae, you hear the Africans chasing the reggae like uchaku, 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 uchaku. That's a big mistake. What should you do? What the Jamaicans should do is they slow it by playing the bubble. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Aswa do it a lot. Bob Marley do it a lot. All the big reggae stars. You realize that the faster the reggae goes, they do the bubble that cuckoo, cuckoo on the left. They don't go there. Kuchaku, kuchaku, kuchaku. You'll be chasing the music, and the music will be jumpy. You realize, so these are the trade of the tools. These are the secret of the tools. Most African reggae, when the reggae is running, what do we see? They're trying to chase it. You realize again that drum. One, we have the one drop, we have the step up, and we have the roots. The one drop is the step up will be the like Roy would do, like Gorena TJ would do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you hear like Gregory Isaac will go chat chat chat. So these are the things that Africans don't catch it. The Africans will be chasing the song, And another thing is if we have to play it like them, harmony. Harmony is very important. The way we respond, the way we do the chorus, the way we do the harmony. You can realize that if you're listening to Gregory Isaac never did backing vocals for years. All the big recording that he did, no backing vocals for years. And you realize that the horns lines. So, like I said, reggae, if we Africans are going to play like them, then we need to get the tools and listen very well. But I have another point. I think that as music and as a musician, you have to be creative. You have to come up with something that, like my father used to say, if you can beat them, join them. One, I'll give you a typical example. Look at how, if you go to the Caribbean, everybody watch Nigerian movie. Everybody watch Nigerian movie. Why? Because there's something that they're doing that they like. So I think that if we can beat them, we must join them. We can come up with something very creative. Because when we look at reggae evolves a lot. The younger folks are coming up with some wicked stuff. The older folks did theirs. Reggae evolves. So to me, I think we Africans, if we are going to play the reggae and try to beat them, one, we have to be original. And two, I was telling you this last week, the patois. Look, we cannot, I mean, we cannot say it and say it like they do it.
But why should we say it like they do? That's my problem.
I don't
Because
even. My issue is that because when I listen to somebody like what is it called? These younger boys, Stone Boy, all these boys. Even today, I had a meeting with an artist in Nigeria who won my company to promote him, and he's singing in patois, and I'm like, Sam, uh, honestly, the way you are talking, these people love the way we speak Pidgin English. What do you hear? Go to Jamaica, go to Caribbean. Everybody will say, oh, you from Ghana. Hey, Yatisen, Ashanti, hey, how be this? They try to speak like us, and we are trying to speak like them, and that is not helping.
let me challenge you a bit on that also.
Okay.
English language is not our language, right? Yet we sing in English language, and English language, especially if you consider the philosophical aspect of reggae music, is the oppressor's language. Yet we feel free to sing in it. What stops us from singing in a language or an accent or whatever it is, which is part of us? Because the people from the Caribbean are directly connected to us. What's wrong with that?
The issue that is wrong is we have to first look at globalization. Globalization is very big when you are into this industry. What I would say is English, everybody who was colonized by England have their way of speaking their English. Typical example, let's take West Africa, Pidgin English. Make you take go. Make wo, you take go. Obi, everybody part of the world, everywhere that you go that were colonized by English, have a way that they speak the English to correspond with their local thing. But thank God, there are some words, if we all use, you can understand it. You can sing in Yoruba, you can sing in that, but globalization, English. Let me give you a typical example. Nobody can speak better English past Fela. What did Fela do? Fela started singing in Pidgin English. When you go to Fela's concert, what does he do? Before he starts, he will explain everything in English and sing in Pidgin English. We should remember that patois was nobody even liked patois. We were much into a pidgin till these people started making patois, being proud of their pidgin. When you listen to how these boys playing good reggae, good beat, good groove, and they start singing in patois, and it's like looking like a white man dancing a baja. Music doesn't, the language, sometimes it's important, but it's not too important.
Okay.
The groove and the way you sing it. So I think that we can sing reggae in Twi. We can sing reggae in English. We can sing reggae in Pidgin. But the moment you try to mimic the original, honestly, I'll listen to the original. If you start singing like Michael Jackson, why should I waste my time on you?
Okay.
When I can go get the original.
So that kind of reggae that you are describing right now, sing it in Twi, sing it in whatever other language, would we still call it reggae? Or should we call it something else? Because some time ago, people in Ghana started experimenting with all kinds of, fusions. And there was this guy,
Fish Band,
and this guy called Malenzi, Ras Malenzi.
Ras
I don't know
Malenzi,
where he is now, but I visited him in his studio the other time, and he showed me some of the beats he was working on. He was saying something quite close to what you're saying right now, but he was saying, it's called Sun Life, right? He was not trying to say reggae.
We can play around with it and be much original than what you are doing. Because when I listen to Stone Boy and I listen to those boys, they sound just like the Jamaicans. But it's not, because some of the words and the way they talk.
Okay.
So to me, if you are going to take reggae far, we need to come up with a better something. If you can beat them, join them. Let's be original. Because like I told you, if I can get Michael Jackson, why should I go and watch somebody who is acting like Michael Jackson?
I'm going to put you against the wall a little bit. From what
Sure.
all that you've said, right? Look at an artist like Samini. Samini has, you know, one of the most original styles that I have ever seen in Ghana.
Yeah.
Right? He has a song
Yeah.
like "Where My Baby There." That's straight away pidgin, you know. And then he actually uses tree in it and everything. But and even the beat, you can't call that reggae. But again, you have the influence of reggae in there. And then you have somebody like Shatawale,
Shatawale.
right? Who sounds like really hardcore
Dancehall.
Jamaican dancehall and all of that. But still, he also has songs which he uses Ghana and all of those things. Is that what you're calling for?
Yes, that's what I'm calling for. So I love what the boys are doing. But the funny thing is, with music, sometimes you will never know what is happening on the other side of the world. You'll be sitting in Ghana thinking, you know, you're doing your little thing, you're doing this, but it's going far. Because when you look at the boys have taken the music to another level. Let me give you a typical example. Look at somebody like, this reggae guy. He's a doctor. He's in Ghana. I think he's a doctor at reggae.
Nilante.
Nilante is very good. Very good. But there's a little bit issue because Nilante can break through because he's not being original. Nilante is not being original. When I listen to Nilante, it's just like, if I close my eyes, it's just like listening to somebody in Kingston, Montego Bay, or, you know, go somewhere that I'm listening to, you know. So I think Samini is doing great. He should keep on doing what he's doing. There are so many things that goes around the world that you don't even know, especially when you go to Caribbean and you see Nigerian movies. People will be in Nigeria, the actors, they don't know that they are superstars over there. So I think that what Shatawale is doing is great. I love it.
You realize, there's very good talent in Ghana as far as reggae music goes, right?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can mention somebody like Ras Boomba. Boomba is extremely talented. But he's still struggling to get any recognition whatsoever.
Yeah.
What would it take for people, for investors, for MTN to make him, say, a brand ambassador, for instance?
Okay, one thing you should know is that nobody wants to invest in nothing that is not original. If anybody wants to go invest in reggae, in the first place, they'll go to Jamaica. I've played reggae with Ras Boomba for the past, I'll say, 16 years. I've worked with Ras Boomba long time. Right now, when it comes to marketing, we need to take things in our own hands. If we have to wait for all these big companies from United Kingdom and all these people to come, it's not going to work for us. What we need to do is start supporting our local artists. Start buying our stuff. Right now, things have changed. Nobody goes to Circle and go look through the CD to look at the CD. Nobody goes to Osekwame Despite at KDT to do that. So what we do, like what my company is doing here, is marketing. There are so many ways you can market yourself. Right now, thanks to internet, you can spread your music over 20 sites and all the money will come to you. That is it. So if we have to wait for MTN to come and brand you, it's not going to work.
It's getting hot out here.